The 2450 is now the fastest treadmill in NordicTrack's lineup. Along with its speed, it's also bringing the power, the cushioning, as well as a whole new layout and set of features for its training platform, iFIT. I'm Kaylee, and this is TreadmillReviews.com, where I'm reviewing the NordicTrack 2450. At the time of filming this, I just found out that I officially qualified for my first Boston Marathon, so I'm ready to amp up my training, and that means I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time on this treadmill for the next few months. If you're training for a marathon, or trying to start a new fitness routine with your family, or need a treadmill with great training features, you'll want to learn more about the NordicTrack 2450. It has a lot of cool features, but I also think it's pretty important that you learn about iFIT. That's the training platform you should subscribe to with the 2450. You're going to get the best workout when you use the 2450 and iFIT together. Whether you're already an iFIT subscriber or have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. I'm going to cover all the details on how the 2450 performs and what iFIT is. But first, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel if we're helping you with your treadmill shopping journey. Your support helps us get the best equipment in so we can deliver the best and most relevant reviews. Thank you guys so much, and let's get back to the NordicTrack 2450. The running theme for the 2450 is definitely more power and more speed. The deck is larger at 22 inches by 60 inches and heavier than the previous NordicTrack treadmills. The motor is also very powerful at 4.25 horsepower. Both of these features have allowed the 2450 to have a weight capacity of 400 pounds. The 2450 also now goes 14 miles per hour, which is pretty awesome. It's more speed than I think a lot of people will need, and I don't foresee myself using that top speed very often. But it's nice to have the option to go above 12 miles per hour, which is what most treadmills have. If you're going to sprint on this treadmill, make sure you have a good plan for how you're slowing back down, like making sure you can use the buttons while running fast or presetting your intervals so the treadmill automatically slows down. The speed and incline adjust faster than any other treadmill we've tested, and that's by a significant amount. The speed changes can almost be too abrupt if you're not paying attention, but if you're dialed into a HIIT workout, you'll stay on your pace to a T. The incline range is from -3% to 12%. The 2450 is really great for mimicking real-world race courses and trails with iFIT, so this incline range recreates the uphills and the downhills. Not only do they help you build strength and increase your workout intensity without increasing the speed, the incline and decline also help you prepare for hikes or road races with steep grades. The cushioning on the 2450 is very soft. It's not quite as soft as the NordicTrack incline treadmills, but it's one of the softest in its category. The cushioning is responsive too, so if you're running really fast, you kind of get that super shoe feel where it's helping you into the next step. I like that a lot for my recovery runs when my legs just feel dead from outside training. It's also helpful for when I'm trying to hit a faster pace or push for a longer distance than I can comfortably run outside. I normally see a slight decrease in my heart rate on the 2450 compared to running at the same speed on a much firmer treadmill or outside because of the softer cushioning and the slight bounce. If you don't want that extra help, just crank up your speed by a couple of tenths of a mile or add a little more incline. Now, let's talk about something that might be a con for you. So this is a folding treadmill, but it is harder to fold up than previous NordicTrack treadmills we tested. You need to be able to lift around 45 to 50 pounds in order to realistically fold this thing. The whole treadmill is around 300 pounds, so it may not be practical to move around either, though it does have transport wheels for tilting and rolling it. It's 77.3 inches long, 37 inches wide, and 63.4 inches tall when unfolded. When folded, it's 46.5 inches long, still 37 inches wide, and 68.5 inches tall. The deck has a step-up height of 10 inches, and then when you factor in that 12% incline, your ceiling height needs to be at least 2 feet taller than the tallest user that is going to use this treadmill. So for instance, if you're 6 feet tall, you need around an 8-foot ceiling to use the 2450. If you want more information on the warranty or other details on the build quality, check out my written review. It will be linked in the description for you to check out. But for now, let's take a look at the features on the 2450. The biggest update to the 2450, in my opinion, was the touchscreen. It's 24 inches and is better quality than we saw from NordicTrack in the past. Performance-wise, the screen is on par with the Peloton Tread screen. The load times are almost negligible now, and there's no lag that I've noticed so far. The only thing that could still be improved is the amount of glare you see on the screen. The tablet is set to dark mode, and the black background makes everything reflect more clearly. If iFIT adds in a light mode, it should help. Almost all of the buttons are now on the touchscreen instead of along the sides. So you have your start and stop buttons and buttons for increasing and decreasing the speed, incline, fan speed, and volume under the console, but the rest are on the screen. If you don't want to hold down the Speed Plus button, you can scroll to the speed you want on the screen. However, unlike the old NordicTracks, you can't press 2 and then 3 to set it to 2.3 miles per hour. It will just go to 2 miles per hour and then 3 miles per hour. The buttons don't represent every level either. At the top, it skips from 14 miles per hour to 9 miles per hour. It's useful for slowing down really quickly, but I think I'm more likely to use the 10 to 12 mile per hour range than I will the 14 mile per hour max. So I miss having those buttons. I would like it if NordicTrack would let us customize the speed and incline buttons that we see. Last, a few more points about the buttons. The screen is responsive. I didn't have any trouble controlling it during my walks and my runs so far. I think at faster speeds, it might be more challenging, but overall, I'm happy with it. The new layout with minimal buttons looks really clean. So the screen tilts and rotates, and you can get a good viewing angle whether you're on or off of the treadmill. I took a boot camp style class a few days ago where I was off the treadmill for one section. It was super easy to rotate the screen around, still see the trainer, and then rotate the screen back and get right back to work on the treadmill. You have a lot of audio options here. You can listen out loud with the front-facing speakers. It's easy to hear the audio from them. You can also pair Bluetooth headphones using the menu in the bottom right corner. There are closed captions for the iFIT workouts. You can even change the language that you hear the iFIT workout in. It's an AI translation as far as I'm aware, but unfortunately I cannot vouch for how accurate the translations are. Duolingo hasn't gotten me that far yet. Oh, and another thing Bluetooth can do is pair with your heart rate monitor. My Garmin connects very easily. This is really helpful for the active pulse feature, which we'll get into in just a bit. Let's look back at the 2450's console. There's a fan with an auto feature that lets you turn the fan on, and then the fan speed will automatically adjust to your training intensity. So if you get faster, so does the fan. Finally, there's the storage. You just get 2 cup holders. I did a 10-mile long run on the 2450 and I just barely fit what I needed. I put my phone and 1 cycling bottle in 1 cup holder and my nutrition and another water bottle in the other cup holder. You don't get a tablet rack, unfortunately, but let's look at why that might not be such a bad thing. Remember when I mentioned iFIT at the start of this video? Well, now we're really going to get into what that is. iFIT is a training service that provides all of the training content for the 2450. It has a library with over 17,000 classes and new ones are added all the time. These classes are trainer-led and take you all over the world to explore these beautiful routes right on the screen. And they aren't just for the treadmill. You can use an iFIT membership to access classes for the bike, elliptical, and rower. If you don't have another iFIT cardio machine, you can also follow strength and yoga classes on the 2450. There are 3 ways to personalize the iFIT treadmill workouts to your training abilities. With the Smart Adjust, the treadmill will remember any time you override the workout to make it harder or easier. Then it will adjust the rest of that workout and your future workouts accordingly. The second option is Active Pulse. You need a compatible Bluetooth monitor for this to work. You can turn Active Pulse on from the bottom menu, and then the workout speed will adjust to put you in the prescribed heart rate zone. It's pretty cool. Finally, there's the AI coach, Taylor, which can talk to you over text. This AI coach will schedule workouts for you that show up on your treadmill home screen. These workouts are chosen specifically for the goals that you share with the coach. I haven't been invited to the AI Coach program yet, but it's soon to be available to all iFIT users once it's through beta testing. But my new favorite iFIT feature is the entertainment apps. iFIT now has Netflix, Prime Video, and Spotify. While you have to have an iFIT account and an account to whichever of these platforms you want to use, I think it adds a lot to the treadmill, especially if you already subscribe to one of these services. Being able to listen to my go-to running playlist over the 2450 speakers while training with iFIT is a game changer for me. In the Create tab, you can build your own workouts by setting a target goal for distance, time, or calories. If intervals are more your thing, you can program those too, with custom speed and incline settings. We haven't seen the Google Maps added to our 2450 yet, but that's another custom workout feature that should be added soon. We used it with the old 2450 model, and it allows you to create a route pretty much anywhere with Google. Then you could watch the Google Street View images as the treadmill automatically adjusts to the real-world grade as closely as possible. If you have a destination race coming up, you can essentially run your course on the treadmill to prepare. It's a cool feature and should be added back really soon. If you don't subscribe to iFIT, you can still use the 2450 as long as you have a free iFIT account and are connected to Wi-Fi. Then you can train in the manual mode, which is also available to subscribers. For workouts, you can try a few featured classes or choose a few preset workouts that are displayed on the manual training screen. If you don't want an iFIT account, free or paid, I don't recommend the 2450. The treadmill features will be super limited. You might not even be able to use the treadmill. We've had mixed results on that. And NordicTrack and iFIT could change what's offered at any time. I think it's in your best interest to think of the 2450 and iFIT as a package deal. So now that we've covered all of that, let's check out the 2450's performance. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how the 2450 sounds and performs while I'm using it. So let's just start off at a walking speed. And it starts very quickly. If I adjust to 3 miles per hour, it's already up to speed, super fast. All right, now I'm gonna bring it up to a run so we can take a look at that cushioning a little more and see how it sounds. So I think my foot noise was actually much louder than the motor, and that's on me. I'm just not a very quiet runner. So it's great, quieter than the previous model. Now let's take it to the -3% decline. It's very slight, but I'm definitely feeling that downhill. And then we'll go up to the 12% max. All right, and now it's fully inclined. I'm not sure if you were able to hear the incline motor at all. It's so quiet. I still think that the drive motor and my foot noise is probably louder. All right, and I can still reach the screen just fine. If you're taller than me, I'm 5'4", you might have a little bit more trouble reaching it, but it does tilt, so you can reach it a little bit more easily. And the buttons are super responsive. So I'm gonna go back down to neutral. So that's about it with the 2450. Cushioning is great. I'm excited to spend more time on this treadmill. Let's go back through the highlights of the NordicTrack 2450. First, it has a 14 mile per hour speed limit, a powerful 4.25 horsepower motor, and a softly cushioned running deck. It folds, but may be a little heavy for some of you. The weight capacity is now 400 pounds, which I think reflects its improved build quality. As for iFIT and the tech features, you get a high quality 24-inch touchscreen display, thousands of trainer-led classes when you subscribe, and access to entertainment streaming apps like Netflix. Throw an active pulse for heart rate training and a fancy new AI coach, and you have one of the most high-tech treadmill workouts available. You really need iFIT for the full experience. That concludes my review of the NordicTrack 2450 treadmill. If you still have questions, check out my written review, which will be linked in the description, or leave me a comment. If you're convinced that the 2450 is the right one for you, we do have links below where you can check out its current price. If you make a purchase through this link, it supports us without increasing the cost for you. I'm Kaylee at treadmillreviews.com, and thanks again for watching.